In this video, we're going to walk through some of the table UI features inside of Monolith. So all the standard tables inside of Monolith have a couple of features built in to help make it a little bit easier for you to find and export data. So we're just going to run through those. First thing that we can do with tables is we can sort the columns. So right now I'm just looking at a default view of my my cases table, but let's say I wanted to sort everything by progress. What I can do is I can hover over that column header, and if I click it once, this is going to change the sorting to ascending, and if I wanted to see the reverse of that, I can click it again. That's going to change the sorting to descending, and if I want to clear the sorting, I can click it again, and that'll clear all of the sorting in this table for me. The next thing we can do is add filters. We did another video on filters, so we'll include a link to that in the description. But just for a quick review, what the filter does is it kind of lets you pare down this data based on parameters that you set. So let's say I just want to look at stuff that's case lead is me, and now I'm just looking at cases that have myself as the case lead. So let me clear this filter. The next thing we can do is resize columns. So you may notice here that I have a really long case name that's being kind of cut off. And if I wanted to see that, what I can do is I can come up to the top of the table, and you may notice this little kind of arrow pointy icon that appears when you hover between two columns. If we click and drag, you'll notice a blue line has appeared. And now when I see that blue line, what it means is I can adjust the width of this column. So I can adjust, now I can see the full name of that particular case. The next thing we can do is we can reorder the columns. So let's say that I want the case type a little bit closer to my case name. Well, what I can do is I can click on this column, and while I'm holding down the click, I can just drag this wherever I want to go. And this blue bar that you see, that's just an indicator of where it's going to drop when you release your mouse. So let's say I want to put it by the case name. And now I have my columns reordered the way I want them. Next, we can also choose which columns we can see. Let me make this a little smaller real quick. So if we come over here to the right-hand side of our screen and click on this little kind of bar icon here, this is going to open up all the columns for that particular table's data. So you can see some of these are checked. Anything that's checked is what's visible to us right now. Anything unchecked is something that is not currently visible. So let's say I wanted to add total progress to my view here. Okay, so I clicked that and it has added it here for me. And let's say I wanted to hide the priority for the time being. I'm going to uncheck that, and now you can see my priority has also vanished from my table. So helpful to kind of keep the data pared down to just what you want to see. Something to keep in mind too, with the columns especially, when we go to do the export, which you can export table data from this button here, the export's only going to show the data that we can currently see in the table. So if I was expecting to see priority in my export, right now I'm not going to see it because that column's not checked. So just something to keep in mind that this is what you see is what you get export. So if you export something and data seems to be missing from your export, be sure to check the column and make sure that it's visible in whichever table you're looking at. And then the last thing we have for searching is the aptly named search bar. Let me click over to my evidence tab here, since this is kind of a more giant table for us to look at. But any table that has a search bar is going to search for any data in that table that meets whatever you type in your search. So right now we're looking at the evidence table. Let's say I wanted to see evidence that was an iPhone. Just going to type that in. And you can see that's reduced the number of items we're looking at significantly, and it has pulled everything that has iPhone somewhere in the data set. And that is how the table UI features work inside of Monolith. Thanks for watching.